Hi, welcome or welcome back. My name is Savannah and it's another monthly recap, I suppose you could say. I apologize about the lighting. I can't figure out any kind of good lighting. I have a window here. I have two windows back there. I have another window around the corner. It's just like wherever I point the camera, there's going to be backlight, which is a little bit frustrating. And also my glasses reflect the light as well. So it's a little bit difficult to find perfect lighting in my space. Plus, my space is quite a bit of a disaster. I need to get around to cleaning it, tidying it up. It's just, I don't have the energy. Even to just clean my house is difficult. I've been managing dishes and laundry only and making sure that I am clean myself, but like the motivation and energy to clean my house is just not there. And I hate it. I think I'm getting pretty close though to finally getting it. I think it's starting to drive me bonkers enough that I will just push through and get it done. But anyways, that's not why we're here. We're here to go over what I have been working on this past month. If you've caught my mid-month video, I think that's how it's going to go for most of the year, is that middle to end of the month, hopefully, I will have a quilting vlog, and I'll show you what I did so far this month, like just a quick recap later after I show all my knitting and stuff like that. But I'm hoping that is something that I can manage. I can't guarantee because my kit for the quilt comes roughly right around mid-month, and trying to, receiving it and then trying to find the time to actually work on it. Quilting is a lot more labor and time intensive than I remember it being. So it takes a little bit of extra time. So finding the time to do that and then getting everything edited and posted, I can only hope for the best that I can be on top of it, have the motivation again, there's all that. But it is the end of February now. It is February 28th at just about noon. And I'm going to show you what I've worked on knitting wise, in the month of February. I did not start anything new. I've realized that it's been 2 months and I have not started anything on my little Make 9 that I made and posted back at the beginning of January. I think I've just been motivated enough to work on my whips. I think I should start something off of my Make 9 though for March, just because I've finished 2 things in February. And I know several people watched my Make 9 and they might have been excited to see some of those projects start to come to life. And I don't want to leave you hanging about those. So I should probably roll my little, what is this one? Is this a D9? A 0 through 9. So maybe I should roll this to pick what I will work on. We'll see. So it depends. I've kind of come to the conclusion of like 2 things on my Make 9. We'll talk about that later though. Okay, so let's go ahead. At the beginning of February, actually February 3rd, I finished the zipper, is it the zipper sweater? Zipper jacket by Petite Knit. This is it. I inserted the zipper. It was kind of a little bit of a pain in the butt. It's not my first time, but I had to shorten the zipper. And it's an opening zipper, so, it opens all the way. So shortening it was a little bit different than just doing it how I normally would shorten a zipper. And it's a little tricky. Getting it in the doodads is a little tricky. So I'm nervous that it'll go past this, so I try not to go, because I don't have stoppers on the top of this. I did take some thread and try to create some stoppers, but I don't know if I trust it. So, yeah, this, I forgot how many days it took me to knit this. Let's see here. Zipper jacket, 45 days. I believe I started this in September. Zipper jacket. Yes, but I only knit on it one day in September. So from September to February, it took me 45 days to knit it. Like, not on the needles, but like actual physical knitting days on this. I used Istex Let Lopi in like their, like, it's like a medium gray color, and I held it double with this is Knit Picks Aloft in the carbon color, I believe. Yes, carbon color. So I held these two together to make this. As you can see, this is how much I have left of my Let Lopi. I actually recycled this from 2 different projects that I knit several years back. My lunch is finished, so I'm going to take a break in a minute, but I ripped out 2 projects. It was the Felix pullover and the Ingrid slipover. Both of those just weren't fitting me the way I wanted, and so I was never grabbing them out of my little yarn cabinet. So I frogged both and was able to get all of this. The only thing I have not added is the pockets, because I'm not sure if this is entirely enough to make the pockets, and they are afterthought pockets, as in I would cut, and I don't want to do that. So there's no pockets right now. Maybe at a later time. But yeah, I like this. I wore it today to hockey. It's a great piece. I'm going to go have lunch, and then I'm going to come back and talk about my next finished project. Okay, I'm back. Excuse me. My throat's going to be a little funky now, but this is my second finish of February, and I actually finished it last night, February 27th, at about 9:30 at night, which gave me about 30 minutes to try to soak it so I could block it, so I could have it ready. This is the, I'm not entirely sure how it's pronounced. It's Linea, Linea sweater by Petite Knit. I'm not entirely sure how that is supposed to be pronounced, but I've been just calling it the Linea sweater because it's spelled like line with an A at the end. I don't know. So here is my finished piece. Yes, perfect. So I started this at the end of November, and I finished it, like I said, yesterday, which is, how many days is that? It took me 32 days to knit this. It was on a bigger, wait, was it on a bigger needle? I think these are actually on the same size needles. I don't remember exactly. I had to go up 2 needle sizes, or at least, yeah, 2 needle sizes to hit gauge. Petite Knit and I just don't, we don't get close. So I'm usually having to go up a needle size to match gauge as best as possible. But yes, I used, I actually have, hold on, the called for yarn, which is the new Sandscarn Atlas. I used, this is color 1042. I forgot what it was called, but it's the light gray color. I really wanted a gray sweater. I'm kind of in a gray sweater mood. I don't have, I honestly only had one gray sweater, and I didn't even knit that one. It was one I bought already made. It's a hand knit sweater, or at least a machine knit sweater from Peru. But yes, anyways, I needed some gray. So obviously I had this, and now I have this. I actually have a black corduroy mini skirt that I plan to wear with this. I think it'll look super, super cute. But yes, so This color is the, again, 1042, and then the black is the 1099. So yes, I went with black. I wanted to actually do like the deep dark gray, but it was all sold out when I purchased this yarn. So I just went with black, and actually I'm probably pretty happy. Can you see it? Can you see it? I'm pretty happy that I went with the black because it definitely stands out. So these are I-cords. And it was so fun and interesting to make. It was just a lot of fun to do. You don't start with the I-cords. You just do your normal, you know, you cast on, you do your, I think it's short rows. Pretty sure, you do your normal back panel, and then you go back and you do the I-cord. And then you pick up to do the front, and then after you're done with that, you go back and you do the I-cord for around the sleeves, and then you pick up from there. I think it took me 5 days to do the sleeves. So the first sleeve took me, I want to say 3 days, and the second sleeve 2 days. I'm officially no longer a sleeve island complainer. I cannot stand body island. I cannot stand it. Sleeves are so much better. So yes, I got pretty close to finishing the body when I decided that I was going to focus on it. I think the last time I showed you, the stitch marker was right around here. And that's my belly button, but I believe it was right around this area. So I got all that finished. I did not make the ribbing at the bottom as long as the pattern said, just because it was taking a million years. It was really taking a long time. And it felt like it was long enough for me. Like it didn't need to be like the whole body width, the whole sweater did not need to be super long. And then I did the sleeves to length. I even did, well, you know what? I take it back. I did the ribbing for the sleeves only a ½ inch shorter than they were supposed to be. Just because, again, I thought it was long enough. And it grew to be exactly what I like. I prefer my sleeves to hit me there, you know, mid-hand. I prefer that. It's just my taste. What else do I want to say about? Oh, I did change the neck. It's supposed to be a complete fold over turtleneck, but I only went halfway. Like it's supposed to be double this length. I was thinking to myself, I really like the look of it. I love turtlenecks, but I do not reach for them as much anymore. And I don't know if that's just because my face has changed with age, or, you know how we compress as we get older too, like shorten. I feel like my neck is not nearly as long as it used to be when I was younger. So I was unsure what I wanted to do with this. So I thought this is okay. Like I tried it on a lot of times before I bound off. I even thought, I'm like, here, let's test it. I was like, this would be a good length if I decide to actually fold it down and sew it in, but I was a little worried about how wide this neckline would be if I did that, because as you can see, it is a bit wide, and it's supposed to be because it's supposed to be a turtleneck that doesn't actually squeeze your neck. That was an airplane that just flew over, if you saw that shadow. But that's not bad either. I don't know if it's going all the way to where I would sew it down. I guess so. Like that's not terrible either. You could see if I was wearing a shirt underneath, but technically a lot of my sweaters are like that now. I don't know. But that could look really, really good. So that is an option. And that was something I thought about too. I was like, knit it to where it'll be a good length if I kept it tall, or if I wanted to fold it down and sew it. I don't know about this way, but it was something that I thought long and hard about. So yes, really love this. It just finished drying this morning. So all I have to do is go in and double check some of the ends, like this one for sure. As I was doing the tubular bind off, or just the sewn bind off, there was a knot in my yarn, And if you've ever tried to do a sewn bind off with a knot in your yarn, it is a huge pain in the tush. Like that knot gets caught on every single stitch you pull it through. And so it got to the point where I had to just break it. And so I sewed it, or I mean, I knotted it together. I got it to where the knot was pretty flush with the bind off. And then I just, like, I had to, you know, so I need to like weave that in or something so it doesn't pop out all the time. And then I do have woven in, like this is woven in, I just got to trim that. I got one on this side too, probably, unless I trimmed it. Nope, I trimmed it. Look at me go. But I know I have several more in here. Okay, I think it took me about 10 balls to make the, what size did I make? I didn't delete it yet, so I can double check. I think I made the large size. Sorry, let me just double check. Open piece. 1, 2, 3. Is that the large size? Oops. Medium. I made the medium size, which has a bust circumference of 50 inches or 127 centimeters. So, and I'm pretty sure I was spot on with gauge, but like I said, I had to go up. So I actually knit this on a 5mm needle, a US 8, opposed to the 4mm needle that is called for. It's just, she's got a looser gauge than I do. Anyways, so yes, I like this a lot actually, and I can't wait to wear it. I'm hoping the weather is kind of nice so I can wear it with the skirt next week, but we'll see. Anyway, so those are my only 2 finishes. I have 3 balls of this left because I bought 14 total. Obviously, I shortened this by a bit, but I don't think it would have taken much more yarn to do that, to be honest. So, and then I have whatever's left of the black because this didn't take much at all. So that is that. All right, my other whips, excuse me. I did not work on a lot of other things, or I should say I did not work on these other things a lot this month, because I was kind of focusing on this. Like by mid-month, I was like, okay, let's focus. And before that, I was just kind of like, what do I feel like working on after I'd get home from work? So I don't like that. I like when I'm able to just focus on a thing and then I have a lot of progress. But let me go ahead and show you. I have, this is the Coffee Run sweater by QUILTING. I don't know, where was I last time? Oh, I already separated for sleeves, so I got about that much done. What did you say, 3 inches? 2.5? That's 3 inches. I'm measuring it. So I got about 3 inches done on that this month. Nothing crazy. This looks absolutely tiny now. I'm using Rowan's Creative Focus worsted in this color. It's the basil color. This yarn is discontinued. You can no longer get it. Let's see here. I'm gonna hold this up here because I actually had 2 different dye lots because I had to actually find more on Ravelry, like somebody selling it, and I was able to get, I think, 3 more balls of it, and they were a different dye lot. Can you? I don't think you can tell. I can't tell when I look at it in person. Let's see, where is it at? Right here. Okay, so right above the stitch marker, right above it. Let's see if I can. Right above the stitch markers where I switched, or I had to join in a new cake. I did, what did I do? I did alternate like maybe 2 or 3 rows when I added it in, just in case. But I don't think, I can't see anything. It might look a little bit darker. it might look a little bit darker, but like only right here. I don't think you're gonna be able to really tell. I don't think it's gonna be that noticeable. So I'm just gonna keep going on this. I might actually pick this up soon. It just sucks because it's in body. I don't like doing the body. I was a little confused when I did join it in the round. I don't know if I mentioned this, but I thought it was, because the raglan is this twisted rib. I thought the raglan split, so it'd be like 2 lines down the side, but it's not. I just misread, and then thankfully I caught that like kind of right away. It's a fully twisted rib panel down the sides. I believe these are on, it's on a US 8 as well. That just seems to be what a lot of patterns I was working on at the end of 2025 just happened to be US 8s. This is actually a set of needles that I got off of Amazon. There's a purple cord and they swivel. It's a whole set. I don't know if I've ever talked about this, but I got this set off Amazon a while back for when I did that test knit, the Fen cardigan by Trina Lee. I knew I was gonna need more needles, so I just bought this set and for like 30 bucks. And it's actually a really nice set. Like I said, it comes with the purple cords and they swivel, and these needles are really sharp. These are actually like super sharp, like almost sharper than Chiagu's. But yeah, it's great to have these because I typically have a lot of things cast on at the same time, and for some reason they always happen to be the same needle size. So I do like these. If you are interested, I will link them below and you can take a gander. It's good to just have a couple extra sets. I think I have a full Chiagu set. I have a knit pick set that was my first ever set of interchangeable needles. And then I have a few like just random knit picks, knit pros, you know, just a few random ones, but not a whole bunch of different sizes. They're more of like the bigger sizes. And then what else do I have? So the Chiagu's, the knit picks, I have these, and I have a set of the Shorty Licka needles. I don't typically use these ones very often. I'm not a big wooden knitting needle fan, but back when I started knitting again in 2018, 2019, my husband got these for me for Christmas because I needed shorty needles for sleeves. And so he got me these, which was so sweet. So I have a lot of needles. Anyways, just wanted to quick plug these. I don't know if I've ever talked about these before. Also, look at how funny this is. This interior pocket zipper. The zipper pull looks like a razor blade. So weird. And it just says that. I don't know how well you can see that. It's just weird, but I like it. I like these needles. They're not terrible. So, coffee run sweater. Might work on this. I don't know. We'll see. Oops. Dropping everything. All right, another whip. This is, before I decided to focus on getting this finished, this project is what I was taking to work with me, so I could work on it during my classes specials time. So sorry, it's a little stuck. I was just working on this. This is the Ciro sweater. Oh my Lanta, who's it by? I need to pull up my Ravelry. I'm sorry. Moreca knit, I think it is. Open up. Projects. Moreca knit, yes. So this is I think it's Ciro. That's what I'm calling it. I've showed it before. So I've been just slowly working on the body. It is not a lot of progress. Let's see. Yeah, that's where I was the last time I showed you. I've 1.5 inches, 2 inches 2 inches. These are on smaller needles. These are 4mm needles, US 6, with 2 strands of Homespun Super Soft and 1 strand of Knit Picks Aloft. The Homespun is the coffee colorway, and I don't remember what the, let's see, do I have a, oh, it's not Knit Picks Aloft, sorry, it's Drops Kid Silk in the color 35. So it's a chocolate brown color. I've been wanting a brown sweater, and I started this 1.5 million years ago. Let's see, when did I start this? November. I started this one in November as well. That's when I kind of went ham and just started a whole bunch of things, was November of 2025. So yoke is finished, it's just the body again, and I gotta go for a while before I think I split. I think there's a split on the sides. So yeah. I don't like knitting on the body. I really don't. I find it so incredibly boring. All right, so I'm curious, I might end up taking this back to work with me just to give, you know, I get about 45 minutes if I focus, so 45 minutes is better than 0, right? Anything I get done. Is this the last thing? No, hold on. Yes, this is the last thing that I've worked on in February. And it was only because all my other projects were like in a completely different room. And so I would just be like, well, I guess I'm working on this one. And it is the DRK Everyday Cardigan? Yeah, DRK Everyday Cardigan. This one is super slow going too, because it is it's on a 3.75 needle, a US 5, and it's 1 strand of Homespun Super Soft, which is incredibly thin. It's a thin fingering weight that does bloom when you block it. So I started this one, gosh, in the summer. Oh, really? It says August 10th, but I remember I would take it. I mean, granted, that's still the summer, yes. So yeah, I could have sworn it was like maybe June or July when I started this, because I would take it outside into the garage when we'd have friends over and we'd hang out outside. And I remember just this ribbing took me 1,000,000 years. But yeah, I'm in the body like everything else. I did not show this last time. Like, I didn't show the project on my last video, so since the last time you saw it, this is where the stitch marker was. So I need to make sure to move all those stitch markers. But that's where it was. Not a lot of progress. It's just nice and slow. There is ribbing, not twisted ribbing, just ribbing along the raglan, just like the coffee run sweater. Except this one does what I think it thought it was, the other one was supposed to do. The ribbing just stays. You'll probably see it better from the, it's 2 separate lines and not connect all the way through. So this is a reversible pattern. You can finish it to be the knit side out, or you can finish it so that it is the reverse stockinette. I think I'm just going to do it where it's the stockinette out, just because that is my preferred look anyways. I'm not a big fan of the reverse stockinette side. I would love to get this done soon-ish. I know it's not going to happen, but I have a skirt. I just recently purchased a dress that would go really, really well with this blue color. This blue color is, did I say Homespun Super Soft? Yes, I think I did. And it is the Sapphire colorway. So I have a whole 500-gram cone of it. I'm just picking this up when there's nothing else near me and I don't want to get up off my butt and walk to get those projects. So one day, I'm hoping, just because, like I said, I have things that would go really well with this color. But yeah. So what else do I have to say about this? Nothing. I just got nothing. All right, so that's all the knitting that I did in February. It's just been, I mean, I was sick the week of Valentine's and I could not knit. I went 3 full days in February where I did not touch a single bit of knitting. And that's not like me. And if you see that in my tracking stuff, which you can't see, but to me, that really shows that I was very sick. Sick enough to just not want to even put a single stitch into anything. So I did, you know, it is what it is. All right, the quilting bit, let's go ahead and show you that real quick. Wait. I made one purchase. So I've been doing really well. It's not even like, it's not a conscious effort to do no buy with yarn so far these last 2 months, just because I'm just not thinking about it. I don't need to buy yarn. There's nothing I need specifically, you know, to do anything that I want to do. So I've been so good at the no buy so far. It wasn't a goal that I set for myself this year, but I do have this bingo chart. It's a little curled because it's been hanging out. I got this bingo chart from What I Knit. She is a YouTuber and she's got Instagram. She made this bingo. She actually made like one for everybody and then like her personal one, but I wanted both just because there was some on her personal one that I wanted to do as well. And one of the squares was low buy or no buy, but like a month of it, January, did not feel the desire to buy yarn. And February, the same thing. There was no desire to buy yarn. And I'm like, wow, if I'm not focusing on it, like focusing on not buying yarn, it actually comes quite easy. I have so much yarn, I don't need to be buying any yarn. But anyways, look, I'm really close to a bingo on this one. I just need to knit a pattern with stripes, which is on my Make 9. So I could easily do that. So far, I've done a pattern from a new designer. And I forgot, oh, you know what I should do is I should probably write exactly what it is. So new designer to me, I think I checked this one off for the Coco Amore. I did the hood in January, the Harris hood. I had never knit any of her patterns before. So to me, that is a new designer. I don't know if it was supposed to be a new designer to everybody or if it was just a new designer to me, but that's how I interpreted it. So Coco Amore, knit in public. I knit in public almost every single day at work. D-stash, I D-stash some yarn, January or February, both months probably. I have an Etsy where I D-stash yarn and I D-stash hand knit sweaters and socks and stuff like that occasionally. So that's linked in the description below. I just need to do stripes. And then this is Finish an Old Whip. That was this one. My zipper jacket. That was an old whip. I've also crossed off project in a week because the Harris hood took me 2 days to knit. What else did I do? What's that one? Low buy, no buy month. Tubular cast on bind off. I've done plenty of those. I almost always do a sewn bind off. Tubular and sewn is the same thing to me. Let's see, I have done. There's something recently I did where it was a legit tubular where you do the setup rows, and I did do it, so I didn't cheat. And then I think that is it on this one. On the second one, a lot of the same. Here, new designer, knit in public, D-stash, finish an old whip, but then this one knit with hand spun. My Harris hood, I used my own hand spun yarn to make that. And then the Harris hood, I'm not only marking one box. If, you know, a project can use or can knock off multiple boxes. That is how I am doing it. Anyways, before I went into that whole tangent, I was saying, or this is the one thing I've purchased so far. It's just not yarn. It's knitting adjacent, knitting related. I pre-ordered the 52 Weeks of Sweaters book by Linea Publishing. I have the 52 Weeks of Socks and the 52 Weeks of Socks Part 2. I have those two books. I really, really like them. And then when this was announced, I went through and like peeked at the patterns. And I was like, you know what? There's quite a few in here that I like. I am a little bit sad that this isn't the same material as the 52 weeks of socks. The 52 weeks of socks almost felt like a linen type of material. This is just a regular hardcover book. But, oh well. I think this is what they've been going to lately anyways. But, yeah, there's 52 different sweaters in here, and I was looking through, and there's a few really nice ones. Nothing, I'm not going to go through and try to find the ones that I like, but there's a few that are okay enough in here. So I don't mind having it. I did pre-order this through the Starlight Knitting Society. They have really great shipping and usually pretty decent pricing, so I like to support them. I don't have a local knitting store, yarn store near me anymore, so I like to go through them if I can, if they have what I want. You know what book I really, really like? And I've hemmed and hawed about it for a while, but I keep seeing more people show the patterns for it, but it's the Art of the Sea book. I don't know, there's just some really pretty patterns in there. And so I think I want to get that book, but I just don't like the price. But yes, this is what I got. That's the only acquisition I have, I think. Like, knitting related. All right, now we can go into the quilting part. So I signed up for, lo and behold, Stitchery's Homespun Collective Block of the Month for the year. So this was like your little welcome packet, but this is what the quilt looks like. I have a different colorway than this. This is like the OG colorway, which is beautiful. I don't hate it in any way. But when I ordered the kit, there was three other options. There was a more green one, but I didn't love it. There was a Christmas one, but again, it was like pinks and greens and not reds and greens. It just wasn't my style. I didn't want a Christmas quilt. I wanted something I could use all year long. And then there was one called Lakefront, which was all blue. Like, well, blues and greens. So that's what the Lakefront one looks like. So there's the OG, OG Lakefront. You see the difference? Yeah, just more blues and greens. I really, really like it. So, welcome packet. Came with all that stuff. I got my first kit in, I forgot when. The beginning of the week of, you know, Valentine's week, the beginning of that week, I was sick. I could not. I did film a video. I think it was Valentine's Day. I think it was that weekend, that I tried. I mean, I did. I pushed through, but man, was I exhausted because I was still feeling it. I was still quite a bit sick. But I have this box that my husband brought home for me a while ago. And so this is what I'm going to store all the pieces in, the blocks that I complete each month, because you don't put anything together until September. So to keep everything safe and pristine from dust and other things, I'm going to keep everything in this box, which is great. So for the first month, which was February, I made the diamond in a square block. They look like these. I think there's 10 of them here. I made, these are the scraps, because there's actually a mystery quilt that you can use using all the scraps that are left over. I just haven't gotten to it yet. But hopefully soon. These are the stripe blocks. So there's 2 of these. 2 stripe blocks. And then the checkerboard blocks. There's 2 of these as well. So they look like this. So yep. There's the interior. I'm really excited about this. I have not made a quilt. If you watched the video, then you would already hear this, I think. But if you did not watch the video, I haven't made a quilt in a really, really long time. And I kind of missed it. I like quilting. It's very fun. The only part that's hard is the actual quilting of all the, you know, the whole thing together. I do it right here on this home machine that I have. I have this Brother machine my husband bought for me 13 and no, it was probably just 13 years ago. And it's, I forgot what it is. It's a Brother. We got it at Walmart. It has a slightly deeper neck than most home machines, but still like a pretty basic machine. And it's held up really well over these last 13 years. It is a pain in the bum to quilt on it, but I can because I have quilted a king size quilt on it before. So that's the only difficult part. I would love to have it professionally quilted, like this one professionally quilted when done, but I don't think I can afford that. So anyways, so this is really fun to, you know, have this. I actually have another kit by this same designer. I just never got around to it though. It's a gray and white Nordic star. It's called, I think it's called like knitted star or something like that, but it's really pretty. It's just, I never got around to it because I was really intimidated, which is so strange because, like I said, I've used to quilt all the time when my children were little, but I don't know. I guess knitting just takes, knitting is you know, it's number one in my heart. So if I have to take time away from knitting to do things, I don't want to do it. But with this being a block of the month and it's just a small amount at a time, it feels very manageable. And so I really, really like that. What else did I want to talk about? Was there anything else? Oh, we're going to do my Make 9. Let's see, because I think I should. Can I take this off the wall? I really should start something new, right? I don't have to. I have plenty of projects. Like I didn't touch my, what is that called? The winter chunky jacket. I did not touch that at all this month, but honestly, it's okay. It's not going to get done this winter. I think it's like almost 70. It's been almost 70 degrees these last couple of days here in Colorado. So anyways, so maybe it's time to start something new and then worry about that when it gets closer to fall. But yes, this is my Make 9. I have it hanging here on the wall so it can stare at me and be like, lady, you need to work on these. I think I'm going to not knit this as much as I really want this. I came across somebody talking about this pattern on Reddit. Like they initially did not call out this designer, but the way that they were talking, other people could like understand what they're talking about. Come to find out, the designer of this pattern does not knit. They thought, what was it? Like somebody else knit it for them, and people loved it so much so they're like, they went through another company to have it made into a knitting pattern. But I don't think it was tested, because also people on Ravelry say this pattern is quite difficult to understand. Like it's not well written. So I was like, oh, that's sad. If this person who designed it, quote unquote, didn't even knit it, like what? I'm kind of glad that I did not pay for this pattern. I mean, maybe I did pay for it in a roundabout way, but I found the pattern on Scribed, and I think I had to pay for like a subscription to that for like a little bit. So maybe see a roundabout way of paying for it, because you pay for Scribed, a subscription to Scribed, and then you can download whatever they have on that website. And this was one of them, because you can't buy that pattern by itself. You have to buy a kit with their yarn. And I said, no, I'm not doing that, because I don't want to pay that kind of money. So yeah, I'm a little bummed because I really like this. Maybe one day I'll try to work through it, but it's a bottom-up pattern. And again, people say it's very difficult to understand. So anyways, so my Make 9, I really want to make this. I really want to make that. You know, everything I really want to make. This, I'm not going to make the stripe hype. I think I'm going to go ahead and do the Olga sweater by Petite Knit with the yarn that I have for stripes. I think that'll just be a better pattern for the yarn colors that I'm going to be using, which is a royal blue and a Kelly green. I think it'll just look better as thinner stripes. So I'll do the Olga, and then I have these. This, obviously, I need to do some real gauge work with the yarn that I have. So this will probably be put off. So if I'm going to label these one, I don't know what to do with this. I don't know what to replace here. Ooh, actually, you know what? I think, because I have like a little mini bingo board that I wrote, but the 9 squares in the middle of the bingo board are these. I wrote a note, instead of doing this, I might do the zipper sweater by Petite Knit, not the zipper jacket, but the zipper sweater, which is a 1/4 zip. And then I was going to take the colorwork motif from the rug sweater, which is a free pattern. I don't like the fact that it's a round yoke. I'm going to take that pattern and try to put it onto the zipper sweater. So I think I'm going to do zipper sweater here, and then Olga sweater here. 1 through 9. I'm going to go ahead and roll this 0 through 9 die and see what I get. Should we see here? This is a mess. See, here's my little written out. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Really? Oh, it's the Guernsey Genzer. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't roll a die. Maybe I should just do this one, because this is what I wanted to do for a long time. All the yarn that I have for these, minus these 2 and then this one, I've had in my stash for a really long time. So yeah, this, and this. If you take those away, I've had, well, maybe this one too. I've had yarn in stash for these for a really long time. And maybe this one, well, the zipper jacket, maybe I've had that in for a while too. I can't remember exactly when I purchased it, but eek. Oh, do I want to do that? That's a fingering weight. That's a fingering weight sweater. At least the way I want to do it is fingering weight. And a whole skein. So it'll be just like this, except it's textured, which I do prefer textured sweaters. I do prefer knitting textured sweaters. I don't know, what should I do, guys? Should I just do this is not straight, I'm sorry, the Haraboji. I think I might just do the Haraboji. Get that cast on, because I've been wanting to do that forever. That's by Aegyo Knit. You knit from sleeve to sleeve. And what's nice is on that bingo card that I showed you earlier, there is a sideways project. I'm assuming that means knit this way. So if I do this one, I can mark that off. I think I should. Sometimes this is just a suggestion, guys. But now the question is, which color? I initially thought I was going to knit it in this, but then I actually bought myself some of these, and then, or this color, and I was like, do I want it white like the original, or do I want it brown like I've seen other people do? Which one is better? And to be honest, I got rid of my white cardigan. I think there's just one. The white cardigan that I did make for myself ended up being a little too small for my personal taste, so it is actually available on my Etsy. So I think it'll be okay if I do knit it in this color. So Fisherman, it's Lion Brand's Fisherman's Wool. Absolutely love this yarn. This probably has to be my favorite yarn. I've only made one project. I mean, I've made 2 projects with this, but I've made one project that I actually wear on a daily basis. And I've said this before, the Storm Sweater by Petite Knit, I made using Fisherman's Wool, and I wear that thing to bed in the winter because it is so cozy and comfy, and I just love it so much. So this has to be my favorite yarn. I just wish it came in more colors. It only comes in neutrals. The ivory, this, the oatmeal color, and a tweedy color. I think there's actually one. Oh, there's a marled, like these two marled together. Not my favorite, but it's just it. It's just like nothing crazy. I think a dark chocolate brown too, but I don't have that one. So I think I'm going to do the Haraboji in the ivory. Is this ivory? Ecru. So we're going to go ahead and gauge swatch that one. This is how I work. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, maybe sticking it out until the very end right now. I guess this ended up being quite long, but it is what it is. I'm going to go ahead and gauge swatch at least and see how that works. All right. I'll talk to you later in March. Bye.